Okay, so if y'all don't know, it's a beautiful day outside today. It's a beautiful day inside. It's a beautiful day regardless. So, I'm going to read a chapter. This chapter is called, this is chapter 5, and it's called High Vibration versus Positivity. So, of course, this is like the rough draft. I might, it's a lot that goes into writing a book, you know. And this is my natural, ideas, my own ideologies, realizations, and things that I've came up with, epiphanies that I've had from my own experiences. So everything that's in this book is 100% me. Yes, I may have, used ChatGPT to get all my thoughts in a right, format, but this is all my wording. Like 85% is my words. I go in a book and I make, literally like write it down. Like that's why I say it's the rough draft. It was like, fuck it. But seriously, like this is a good book, and this is just a season of my life where I have learned things. I have noticed things about, perception and about, reality. So I said, I need to write a book because these ideologies and these thoughts that I be thinking, they're like genius. Literally, like, and I don't mean to toot my own horn, but like, if I could write a book into my thought process, the way I process things, the way I view things, the way I perceive things, I can make money off this shit. So one of the chapters that I'm on is basically speaks about high vibration versus positivity, because there's a difference between being high vibrational and then just trying to be positive. Somebody cannot necessarily be vibrating at a high vibration, but they could be putting on a front of, acting positive, and it takes true discernment to be able to witness the truth, like whether somebody is really, really meaning this or if they just putting on a smile, putting on a front, wearing a mask. So it starts off like this. This is why I say it's the rough draft, because I feel like my chapters are not really, they're complete and they're full on their own, but I feel like I need to add more. So this is how it goes. Let me stop rambling. It says, integration, not illusion. High vibration isn't necessarily positivity, but it is integration. There's a widespread misunderstanding about what it means to be high vibrational. Many people believe it's always smiling, always thinking positively, and never being triggered, never feeling anger, grief, sadness, doubt, or fear. But this idea is not enlightenment. Although you can smile and be happy or think positively and be an overall high vibrational person, but it can become avoidance if you think that's how you're always supposed to feel. And if you push away the negative emotions because you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this, or you try to quote unquote play victim and project it onto other people, or maybe you just, which is, it's all human emotions. Like, this is regular. This is just how we are as humans. But the thing is, just as much as you're open to positive and high vibrational emotions, you should be open and accepting of low vibrational negative emotions. And I also speak about this in previous chapters, that emotions are just a teacher for you. They're not to be 100% followed through. Like, you can feel angry, mad, anxious, small, shameful, but that doesn't mean you get to act on that. Like, you feel me? Even if you try to act on it in a less obvious way, a lot of people do this, especially in today's time, especially in today's, because like time's changing. If you're not aware of it, if you're not aware of people and interactions and socially, it's changing. You have to be aware of it. And a lot of people would try to project their uncomfortable or their negative emotions onto other people through subtle things instead of just understanding themselves and why they feel that way. Because it's all about intention. If you have the intention that I'm feeling this negative emotion, I'm feeling uncomfortable, it got to be because of them. Let me do this. Now you're projecting that onto them. Now you're creating an uncomfortable space. But it's not like you have to just be stay grounded and present and being able to interact there. But this is just to spread awareness on this, because these things happen. Like, we need to be aware of our own self and be more open and understanding and allowing our emotions to be teachers for us. Because just like I said, I spoke on this like years ago, like back in 2022. Like, you cannot accept the light and cast out the dark. They go hand in hand, you know. That's like saying I'm always happy, I'm always smiling. Like, you can't always be happy. That's just not, like, you feel me? That's fake. So I said, even the triggers and low vibrational emotions serve a purpose. It's really how you go about them and how you use them to become a better you that makes a difference. A truly high vibrational life is not one where low emotions never arise. It is where they are met consciously instead of suppressed. High vibration is not the absence of darkness. It is the ability to sit with it without becoming it. Being high vibrational does not mean that you never feel small, hurt, or offended. It means you notice it without shame, you honor it, you don't obey it, and you respond without abandoning yourself. And that's what self-love truly is. So let's go back to this. Noticing it without shame. That means you noticing that you feel some type of way and you're accepting of it. You're opening of it. You know that you're human. Everyone feels emotions. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be mad at yourself. Don't be embarrassed of it. Instead, if you switch that perspective of that 1 second between feeling that emotion and connecting a thought to that, let that thought be, you know what? What is this going? What is teaching me? What is arising in me? Be more open. Change that perception of, you know what? A low vibrational emotion tied to that feeling, and attach a high vibrational emotion. And a high vibrational emotion can be awareness, or you being open to, you know, wherever this emotion can take you in the best way possible. Whether that be in the way you reacting, you responding, you listening, whatever. Look at me. Like, girl, who are you? But not seriously. And then the next one, I hope that was understanding. Like, I hope that was clear. You picking up what I'm putting down. And then the second one says, honor it, don't obey it. There's a difference between honoring something and obeying something. You can honor it. You can say, you know what? I realize that I feel this way. I respect it. When you obey it, I realize that I feel this way and I'm respecting it. The difference between honoring it and obeying it is, you know what? I feel this way. Let me obey what I feel. If I feel angry, oh, okay. Let me act out my anger, or let me say feel, and because you don't even necessarily got to act it out. And that's a lot of people. That's what a lot of people get by with slickness, is that they can feel a lot of emotions, but they don't necessarily act it out. And intention is very powerful. You don't have to necessarily act out something in order for it to take effect, quote unquote, or in order for, you know, in order for somebody to pick up on that, you know. So there's a difference between honoring it and obeying it. Honoring it says, you know why I feel this way. Let me honor it. Let me understand why I feel this way. Let me implement this. Obeying it is, you know what, I feel this way, and this is the end all be all. Let me just, no. You don't obey it. You don't obey it, because feelings are very fluid. Feelings are not the truth. Feelings may be the first and most strongest response that our body gives us, because feeling is like a response from your nervous system. It's not always based off of truth. It's just based off of whatever story is stored up in your body, in your gut. Because that's what's so beautiful and so complex about the human body. Like, that God's creation is beautiful, because we literally have like a whole system built in with our body. But let's just keep going on, because it's supposed to be a little small video about this. I can go on and on and on and talk about this shit, but I'm trying to make this just small for this one chapter. Then the last one says respond without abandoning yourself. So you can respond in a healthy way with allowing yourself to be who you are, allowing yourself to show up true to yourself, showing yourself love, and you saying, you know what, it's okay for me to feel this way. Maybe this is teaching me something. That's when you stay true to yourself. That's where you stick by yourself. If you allow that emotion to do whatever it is that it's doing and move you away from who you are, a lot of people say that when I was angry, that wasn't me. Because that's truth. It probably wasn't you. It was a part of you that was asking to be heard, so that way you can transmute that energy. That way you can learn and implement the lesson to be a better you. You know? Moving on. High vibration is integration, not avoidance. Integration means nothing within you is rejected. Nothing within you is rejected. That's what integration is. Your feelings are valid. Your grief deserves to be acknowledged, not repressed or hidden. Your anger is not to be shamed, but understood. Your fear deserves to be acknowledged and healed, not spiritually bypassed. That means not telling yourself that you're tripping or you're tweaking. The only thing you are is human. Keep going. Instead of pushing emotions away, you acknowledge them. Instead of denying pain, you alchemize it. Instead of pretending to be healed, you become whole. A person operating at a high vibration does not avoid discomfort. They have learned how to move through it. This is why healing raises vibration naturally, not because pain disappears, but because resistance dissolves. This is why healing raises the vibration naturally. When you automatically heal, you don't have to put on the front to be positive. When your vibration is high, you might not necessarily have on a smile. It's a frequency that you operate on. A lot of times people get confused about what they see. They think smiling. Oh, this person is living good. She's happy. Emotions are fluid. Somebody can put on a smile and not be happy. Somebody can have a straight face and be the most content in their life. Moving on. The illusion of positivity. False positivity often looks like everything happens for a reason. And people use this to bypass pain or to not notice themselves or attach, understanding or, answers or examples to the things that they go through. Everything happens for a reason. That is true, but you have to keep going. You can't just say it is what it is and move on with life. I mean, it's important to allow and go with the flow and allow things to occur, but it's also important to know that you play a part and you have a certain, power in the way that your life is, presenting itself to you. Smiling while emotionally disconnected, that can also be an illusion of positivity. Smiling knowing you're uncomfortable, spiritual language used to avoid accountability. Denial disguised as optimism, and light without depth. Keep going. I'm not going to get into that. This version of positivity does not heal, it suppresses. And what is suppressed does not disappear, it leaks. Oftentimes people, they like to dig deep in and, look in with the depth of when it comes to high vibrational emotions. I'm happy, excited, I feel loved, I feel seen in the best way possible that, is perceived for me, that feels good for me. And that's all that matters. I want to stay in this. But then when it comes to the negative emotions, they don't want to give and feed those negative emotions or that low vibrational, because it's not necessarily negative. It's just emotions, and they operate at a certain frequency to show you whatever it is that you need to see. They don't want to give the low vibrational or the not so much wanted or desired emotions that same amount of depth. But that's where that growth comes from. That's where that acknowledgement comes from. That's where that knowing yourself comes from. This version of This version of positivity does not heal, it suppresses. And what is suppressed does not disappear, it leaks. So, through passive aggression, through exhaustion, through resentment, and through emotional inconsistency. If you constantly feeling that you know that you don't really like someone, or you don't really understand why you feel the way, why you feel someone, but you know that it's not because of them, so you want to constantly put on an illusion of positivity, that doesn't fix the issue. That doesn't fix the root cause of the problem. You have to, it's important, I'm not telling people what they have to do, but it's important for you to be able to understand yourself and your emotions. That's why it's so important to, that's why it's important to be reflective. Spend a lot of time with yourself. And when you are giving yourself and you are attaching, explanations or definitions or stories or informations or lessons to these emotions, it should have everything to do with you and nothing to do with nobody else. Because you can't control the world outside of you. And the world outside of you is always going to be moving. But what's easier to control is yourself. I mean, that's the most rewarding thing to control in the best way possible, Like, you can't control everything outside of you. You can't control the way the world goes. You can't control the way, people see you, people view you. You feel me? If you keep kind of controlling yourself, you're going to drive yourself crazy. You're going to drive yourself nuts. And you're going to drive yourself to exhaustion. Because the world is always going to be the way it is. You have to be able to control yourself. And even all the time, you can't even control yourself. But when it comes to emotions, feeling, and positive emotions, hold on, this thing locked. It's important to know that your emotions and your feelings are for you. It's not for nobody else. Your feelings, it's because of you. It's not because of nobody else. Yes, somebody may have came along and may have sparked something in you. Somebody may have came along and triggered something in you. But if anything, that was for your highest good. If somebody come along and trigger you, that's for a reason. That's because you need to grow and evolve and be the best version of yourself. It's not to say, oh, this person triggers me, so I need to stay away from them. They are triggering you right into growth. It's all depending on how you go about that. If you're going to allow the lesson. People oftentimes, they like to be around other people who make them feel safe. In order to heal your nervous system, you can't stay safe. And in order to heal the nervous system and rewire the nervous system, you have to feel unsafe first. How can I word this? Our nervous system tells us, it tells us stories that we are already used to. You have to step outside of your comfort zone in order to get the growth, to receive the growth, to receive the lesson, to be the best version of yourself. I mean, inside and out. Not only necessarily for an image, because image is good, but that's not the end all be all, and that should not be the main focus. I mean, to each his own, but this is what I mean by things that are necessarily uncomfortable and are not always not good for you. Sometimes they're good for you, especially if you know someone isn't doing anything to throw you off. If they are necessarily I mean, to each his own, because I was about to say if they necessarily are being good and treating you well, you just have to have your own discernment. That's it. Keep your mind clear. You cannot allow your own traumas and your own emotions to trick you out of your own blessings. And yeah, you do the rest. I'm not about to explain everything down to a motherfucking T. But yes, this stuff really makes sense, and it really is like the truth, and how you be able to have a balance within anxiety, feeling triggered, feeling negative emotions, because these are all we're human. This is regular. You're supposed to feel these ways. That's what I'm saying. I don't get why people just automatically think, oh, the only human emotions is good emotions. You should be open and accepting to all emotions. and open to whatever it is that they have to teach you for your growth and for the best version of yourself. Moving on. This is often why some people appear positive, yet they feel heavy to be around. Or you can just tell that it's not genuine. When someone is treating you fairly nice, but something just feels off, their light may not be integrated. It may be performed. And it's so tricky because, especially if you're on the side of healing and you look, that's why it's so important to just stay focused on your own path, on your own journey, and what you're creating for yourself. Because the person on the other side can possibly be perceiving you to be the same way. Like, while you know that you do the healing work and you know that they may have be, you feel like they be performing, they might think the same thing about you. So that's why it's not even important. Like, you don't even got to worry about nobody else's path or their journey or their healing journey, what they got going on. This is just important information for yourself in your own path, in your own journey, in your own healing, for you to show up as a more grounded, more nervous system regulated individual. Moving on. Shadow acceptance is the foundation of high vibration. True elevation begins when the shadow is welcomed home. The shadow is not evil. It is simply the part of you that learned how to survive. It is okay to understand these lower parts of yourself as long as you're willing to change and be better. Keep in mind, some people may understand themselves to try and become even more manipulative. But if you use it as a catalyst for growth, evolution, and healing, when you accept the shadow instead of fighting it, something powerful happens. The nervous system relaxes, the body feels safe, and energy stops being wasted on repression, and high vibration naturally rises. This way you won't have to fight for living or feeling and living in a high vibration. It just comes naturally. High vibration is not created by force. It is created by coherence. When your thoughts, emotion, and body and action stop contradicting each other, your energy stabilizes at a higher frequency. Wholeness vibrates higher than perfection ever could. I feel like that's self-explanatory. Let's move on because it's 22 minutes and I'm trying to hurry up and get this chapter done. Authenticity has a frequency. Energy does not respond to words. It responds to congruence. Someone can say all the right things and still feel off. Someone can be silent and feel deeply grounded because authenticity carries the frequency that cannot be imitated. High vibrational people are not always cheerful, but they are calm. They are present, they are regulated, and they are real. Their energy feels safe, not forced. This is where discernment comes in. We are able to tell the difference between someone who is actually overall positive versus someone operating in a false sense of positivity. False positivity avoids discomfort. High vibration integrates it. False positivity fears the shadow. High vibration understands it. False positivity seeks approval. High vibration seeks alignment. Internal alignment over external validation. High vibrational is not measured by how others perceive you. It is measured by how aligned you feel within yourself. Many people can like you, support you, and want to be around or associated with you, but you may struggle every single day to live a genuinely healthy, fulfilled, calm, and peaceful life. All while someone who stays to themselves and not many people support may be more at peace. When your choices reflect your values and when your boundaries honor your nervous system, when your actions match your intentions, you no longer need external reassurance. You trust yourself. This inner congruence creates a stable energy field, one that cannot be shaken by opinions, projections, timelines, or comparison. External validation is loud, but internal alignment is quiet and powerful. Faith and divine timing. High vibration does not require constant proof. It requires trust. Not blind faith, but embodied faith. The kind that says, I may not see it yet, but I know what I'm aligning with. When you are internally aligned, you are no longer rushed by lack. You understand that manifestation is not magic. It is coherence meeting timing. You stay devoted to the process and not attached to the outcome. This is why high vibrational people remain grounded even in uncertainty. They are not pretending everything is okay. They are rooted in trust. They have faith even when things feel iffy. They know it's all a part of the plan. This mindset helps you react accordingly, knowing everything is happening for your highest good, regardless of how the situation presents itself. True evolution is embodied. High vibration is not a mindset, it is a nervous system state. High vibration is not a mindset, it is a nervous system state. It is what happens when healing, awareness, choice, and integration begin working together. You feel deeply, but you are not ruled by emotion. You experience fear, but you do not abandon yourself. You face shadow and come back with wisdom. This is not positivity, this is presence, and presence changes everything. Now here's a reflective prompt. Ask yourself, where in your life have I been confused? Let me start off. Ask yourself, where in my life have I confused positivity with healing? What emotions have I been avoiding instead of integrating? Do I feel pressure to appear high vibrational, or do I feel internally aligned? If so, why? What would it look like to honor my full emotional truths without judgment? And how can I implement that in a healthy, high vibrational way? Write whatever comes to mind without editing. Integration begins with honesty. And that was chapter 5. Let me know what y'all think.